In the year 2026, Mercedes-Benz once again redefined what luxury on wheels truly means. The world was already familiar with the brand's mastery of engineering and elegance, but this time, the German automaker decided to go beyond roads, to build a moving masterpiece that could bring the luxury of an S-Class into the world of travel. It wasn't just a camper, it was a sanctuary, a place where innovation met comfort, where design met destiny. The 2026 Mercedes-Benz Luxury Motorhome wasn't created for travelers. It was created for dreamers, those who refused to settle for the ordinary. Mercedes-Benz had always stood for innovation. From the first automobile invented by Carl Benz to the latest electric vision vehicles, the brand's history is filled with turning points that changed the course of automotive design. But by 2026, the company's engineers and designers were facing a new challenge: the rise of luxury motorhomes. More people wanted to live freely, travel further, and still enjoy the same level of refinement they had in their homes or high-end hotels. Mercedes-Benz saw an opportunity to merge both worlds, to create a new class of luxury mobility, the motorhome that carries the three-point star. The project began in late 2024 under a secret internal name, Project Nomad. It started with a simple question: what would a Mercedes home on wheels look like? The design team, led by visionary designers from the EQ division, wanted to create something that didn't just move people but moved their emotions. Every detail would have to whisper sophistication, from the exterior silhouette to the ambient glow of the interior cabin. The challenge wasn't just to make it beautiful. It had to be intelligent, sustainable, and truly autonomous. The first concept sketches showed a vehicle that looked more like a private jet than an RV. The sleek, aerodynamic body flowed seamlessly from front to rear, wrapped in smooth panels of lightweight composite material. The signature Mercedes grille evolved into a glowing digital face, displaying adaptive lighting patterns that changed based on driving mode and mood. The wheels, designed with carbon fiber accents and active air channels, gave the motorhome an athletic stance, even when standing still. It wasn't bulky or boxy like traditional campers, it was sculpted for motion. Inside, the story became even more extraordinary. Mercedes-Benz's design philosophy, sensual purity, took on a new dimension. The interior was a breathtaking mix of luxury and minimalism, with every curve designed to soothe the senses. As soon as the doors opened, one could smell the subtle scent of fine Napa leather combined with eucalyptus wood trim. The lighting was soft, ambient, and dynamic, changing colors throughout the day to match natural circadian rhythms. The dashboard didn't have buttons. It had a digital living space interface, a 48-inch wraparound OLED display that merged entertainment, navigation, and smart home connectivity into one seamless surface. The living area transformed like magic. During the day, it offered lounge-style seating with reclining chairs inspired by the first-class cabins of the Mercedes-Maybach S-Class. At night, the furniture rearranged itself through automated actuators, revealing a spacious bed beneath ambient starlight projected on the ceiling. The walls featured electrochromic glass, transparent during the day for panoramic views and tinted at night for privacy. There was no visible separation between technology and comfort. It was all one flowing experience. Mercedes-Benz's engineers developed a special powertrain for this luxury motorhome. It combined electric motors on each axle with a solid-state battery pack capable of delivering over 600 miles of range. To ensure off-grid freedom, the roof was lined with next-generation solar panels, sleek, hidden under the surface, but capable of powering essential systems indefinitely in daylight. The air suspension system automatically adjusted based on terrain, ensuring the smoothest possible ride, whether cruising through city streets or parked on mountain edges. But what made this machine truly special wasn't just the luxury or the technology, it was the soul of the experience. The vehicle's AI system, named Aura, became the heart of the home. Aura wasn't just a voice assistant, it was a digital co-pilot, caretaker, and host. It could control lighting, temperature, driving mode, entertainment, and even suggest travel destinations based on your mood. It learned over time, adapting to preferences, remembering favorite locations, and curating music that fit the scenery outside. For the first time, a motorhome didn't just drive, it understood its passengers. Mercedes-Benz unveiled the prototype to a private audience in Stuttgart. The reaction was overwhelming. As the lights dimmed and the stage illuminated the silver silhouette of the 2026 Mercedes Luxury Motorhome, the crowd fell silent. The body reflected light like liquid metal, glowing softly along its contours. When the doors opened automatically, a golden hue filled the room, like sunrise entering a cathedral. It wasn't a vehicle reveal. It was a moment of art. The media called it the moving mansion. Critics described it as the ultimate intersection of luxury and liberation. But Mercedes-Benz saw it differently, as a symbol of evolution. It wasn't about escaping home, it was about taking home with you. The concept embodied a new generation of travelers, digital nomads, creators, and explorers who valued time, comfort, and sustainability above all else. Early reviewers were astonished by how quiet the motorhome was. Thanks to acoustic glass, noise-canceling architecture, and electromagnetic suspension, even at highway speeds, it was nearly silent inside. The cabin experience was described as meditative, with gentle ambient sounds from aura that mimicked nature, ocean waves, rain on glass, or forest winds, depending on your chosen travel mood. The system even adjusted cabin oxygen and scent profiles to enhance alertness or relaxation. Mercedes-Benz didn't just create a vehicle, they created a new standard for mobile luxury living. Within months, elite clients from across the world began pre-ordering the limited launch edition, each starting at $950,000. Customization was limitless: champagne coolers, private office setups, panoramic skylights, and even full kitchenette modules finished in carbon fiber and rose gold. Each order was handcrafted, with waiting times extending up to 14 months due to bespoke design demands. By the time the first production unit rolled out, it wasn't just an automotive achievement, it was a cultural moment. Social media exploded with clips of the glowing Mercedes emblem moving across the horizon, reflecting sunsets on remote coastlines. Influencers and luxury explorers began documenting journeys across Europe in their Mercedes motorhomes, transforming the image of RV life from basic travel to pure prestige. But behind the glamour, Mercedes-Benz engineers continued refining the soul of the vehicle. They introduced real-time terrain mapping, autonomous convoy driving for group travelers, and even a holographic projection system that displayed route details on the windshield in 3D. It was technology once reserved for science fiction, now available in your driveway. For Mercedes-Benz, this was more than just another product launch. It was a statement to the world that luxury could be sustainable, adventure could be elegant, and technology could feel human. The 2026 Mercedes-Benz Luxury Motorhome redefined the concept of freedom, turning every journey into a cinematic experience. It wasn't about how far you could go, but how beautifully you could get there. As the months passed after its reveal, the 2026 Mercedes-Benz Luxury Motorhome began to reshape the world's perception of what a vehicle could be. It wasn't simply a product, it was a movement, a symbol of freedom draped in refinement. Owners described the experience as traveling inside tranquility. From the outside, it appeared like a futuristic sculpture in motion. Inside, it felt like stepping into another dimension. The cabin exuded the calm of a luxury penthouse, infused with subtle digital intelligence that anticipated every need before it was voiced. Every inch of the motorhome had been crafted with the precision of haute couture. Mercedes designers wanted every moment inside to feel intentional. Every texture, every reflection, every note of light had purpose. The floors were made of lightweight marine-grade wood with temperature control that kept the surface warm in the winter and cool in the summer. The walls weren't static. They breathed softly with ambient light pulses that reflected the heart rate and emotional tone of the passengers. This wasn't science fiction anymore. It was comfort engineered through empathy. One of the most remarkable aspects of the 2026 Mercedes motorhome was its adaptive interior system. With a simple command to Aura, the onboard AI, the cabin could morph into multiple configurations: a living suite, an entertainment lounge, an office, or a sleeping chamber. The furniture, crafted from memory alloy frames and smart materials, would shift quietly, guided by precision actuators hidden beneath the floor. No noise, no mechanical harshness, only the gentle choreography of transformation. When Aura announced evening mode, the lighting dimmed to a warm golden tone, the panoramic roof turned transparent to reveal the stars, and the fragrance diffuser released a blend of sandalwood and cedar. Mercedes-Benz understood that luxury was not just about opulence, it was about emotion. So, they embedded that philosophy deep within the Aura system. The AI didn't just execute commands, it understood context. If it detected stress in the passengers' voices, it automatically suggested relaxation music or activated a massage sequence in the lounge seats. If it sensed silence for too long, it softly asked, "Would you like me to show you the night sky route?" and illuminated a constellation map on the roof. Every interaction felt natural, intuitive, and deeply human. Beyond the intelligent interiors, the 2026 Mercedes-Benz Motorhome introduced a driving experience unlike any other. Powered by dual electric motors and a next-generation solid-state battery, it delivered silent, effortless acceleration. The torque distribution was fully variable, allowing seamless adaptation to road conditions. It wasn't built for speed, it was built for grace. The steering system, enhanced with predictive sensors, could anticipate turns before the driver made them. Autonomous mode allowed the vehicle to drive itself on highways, following real-time navigation and lane adjustments with surgical precision. Passengers could simply sit back and let Aura handle the journey. The exterior design remained one of its most admired features. The body's active aerodynamics adjusted dynamically. Vent flaps opened and closed to manage air resistance, while the grille's digital lighting patterns changed color to indicate driving status. The side mirrors were replaced with high-definition cameras, feeding into the internal display system, eliminating blind spots and enhancing visibility at night. Even the wheels had a story. Each rim was equipped with LED accent rings that subtly glowed during motion, leaving a trail of light on dark roads, a visual signature of the Lumauto generation of Mercedes design. But perhaps the most breathtaking experience was the panoramic viewing mode. With a simple voice command, Aura, open horizon, the roof and side panels of the motorhome transitioned from opaque to crystal clear, offering a 270-degree glasshouse effect. For travelers parked at a lakeside, mountain ridge, or desert expanse, it created a sense of limitless immersion with the world outside. It wasn't travel anymore, it was meditation through motion. Luxury also meant privacy, and Mercedes took this aspect as seriously as the design. The motorhome featured a complete digital security suite, biometric door access, encrypted vehicle data storage, and invisible surveillance detection. Owners could enable silent watch mode, which sealed the vehicle, darkened all exterior glass, and activated environmental sensors to detect movement around the vehicle perimeter. Even in the wild, the motorhome became a fortress of serenity. As journalists began to test drive prototypes across Europe, reviews became poetic. One described it as the smoothest silence ever engineered. Another called it the spaceship that hugs the earth. People who once considered motorhomes impractical began to see them as the future of travel, a seamless blend of sustainability and self-sufficiency. The idea that a vehicle could power itself with solar energy, purify its own air, and recycle its own water became the new definition of engineering excellence. Inside, the sound system was a masterpiece in itself. Mercedes collaborated with Burmester to create a 360-degree sphere audio setup. Speakers hidden within the structural design, not visible to the eye, but perfectly tuned to the acoustics of the cabin. Music didn't just play, it enveloped. Each note seemed to float in space, unaffected by motion or terrain. Whether it was a cinematic soundtrack on a mountain drive or soft jazz during a sunset camp, the sound was pure, immersive, and alive. Mercedes-Benz also addressed sustainability in every layer. The fabrics were made from recycled ocean plastics combined with organic fibers, the wood panels sourced from sustainable forests, and even the seat foam developed from natural latex compounds. The entire assembly process was carbon neutral, powered by renewable energy from the Sindelfingen plant, a true reflection of Mercedes' Ambition 2039 vision for a fully sustainable production line. The 2026 motorhome wasn't just a product of the future, it was a promise to the planet. By mid-2026, the vehicle began making waves in the luxury travel community. Celebrities, digital entrepreneurs, and retired executives all wanted one. It became a new kind of status symbol, not for showing off, but for showing freedom. Videos flooded social media. The glowing three-point star under the night sky, the golden interior lights reflected on snowy mountains, couples sipping espresso inside their Mercedes motorhome as dawn painted the horizon. Each clip added to the legend. Soon, demand exceeded production capacity. Mercedes-Benz decided to produce only 999 units of the 2026 luxury motorhome, turning it into an instant collectible. Each vehicle carried a unique serial number etched into the dashboard, accompanied by a personalized message from the design chief. Owners could visit a digital studio in Stuttgart to customize every element, from ambient lighting hues to exterior paint inspired by rare minerals like obsidian black, desert silver, or glacier blue. As production continued, the engineering team began integrating one more breakthrough, the pneumatic energy core, a modular battery unit capable of detaching and charging externally through solar hubs. Travelers could leave one battery pack at a remote base to recharge while using another on the road, creating a near-limitless cycle of mobility. It was an idea that broke every barrier of conventional travel: independence from charging stations, complete self-reliance in nature. The luxury motorhome became a case study in innovation. Automotive schools, architecture firms, and even hospitality brands began studying its interior layout as a blueprint for efficient spatial design. The balance of comfort, elegance, and modularity was hailed as revolutionary. For Mercedes-Benz, the project was more than successful. It became a cultural symbol of what the brand stood for: innovation that serves emotion. Behind closed doors, executives described the 2026 motorhome as the brand's purest expression of freedom. The three-point star had always symbolized land, air, and sea, but now it symbolized everywhere. With one creation, Mercedes had turned mobility into art, technology into poetry, and travel into a personal narrative. The 2026 luxury motorhome wasn't built to reach a destination. It was the destination itself. To be by early 2027, the story of the 2026 Mercedes-Benz luxury motorhome had transcended the automotive world. It was no longer viewed as a vehicle but as a living environment, a moving sculpture that defined the next century of travel. Everywhere it appeared, from the Alps to the Mojave Desert, from the coasts of Spain to the frozen roads of Canada, it drew silence, admiration, and wonder. People didn't just stop to take pictures, they paused to dream. This machine wasn't loud, flashy, or aggressive. It was graceful. It moved with the quiet authority of something that knew it didn't need to prove anything. Owners began documenting their journeys online, and a global community of nomadic Benzes was born. They weren't just drivers, they were storytellers, architects of experience. Their videos showed sunsets through panoramic glass roofs, dinners served in candlelit interiors powered entirely by solar energy, and tranquil mornings where the only sound was the hum of the electric drive beneath a mountain skyline. Each story reflected a single truth: Mercedes-Benz had redefined what it meant to be alive on the road. What made it even more compelling was the sense of self-sufficiency. The 2026 motorhome could function for weeks without external support. Its integrated solar panels extended across the roof, feeding the dual battery system, while the Aura Core balanced energy consumption automatically. The vehicle harvested rainwater, purified it, and reused it for kitchen and shower operations. Inside, a microclimate management system maintained perfect humidity and air quality, no matter the location or temperature outside. Owners joked that it was smarter than most apartments. Mercedes engineers revealed later that the Aura system had been trained on over 10 million real-world driver and passenger interactions. This allowed it to learn human preferences with emotional intelligence. It could distinguish the tone of joy from exhaustion, excitement from anxiety. If a driver seemed fatigued, it gently adjusted the seat to recline slightly, softened the ambient light, and played calming soundscapes. If the system detected two voices in cheerful conversation, it subtly brightened the lighting to a morning tone. It wasn't just automation, it was empathy coded into design. In one of the most remarkable stories shared by a customer, a retired pilot from Norway described driving his Mercedes motorhome along the Arctic Circle for 3 months, never once plugging into an external power source. He called it the closest thing to flying on land. Another couple in California used the motorhome as their full-time residence, working remotely while traversing the Pacific Coast Highway. For them, it wasn't about owning a luxury vehicle. It was about living within a dream that moved wherever they did. The success was staggering. Within 6 months of launch, all 999 units were sold. Mercedes-Benz had to open a private waiting list for collectors, some offering double the retail price just to own one. Yet, Mercedes refused to increase production. Each vehicle remained hand-assembled by a small team of master craftsmen in Stuttgart, each taking nearly 3 months to complete. The company wanted exclusivity not as a marketing gimmick, but as a promise that every owner would possess something irreplaceable. Media outlets called it the quiet revolution of luxury. Competitors scrambled to imitate the formula, but none could replicate the Mercedes harmony between aesthetics, technology, and emotion. Some built faster electric campers, others packed in more gadgets. But what set the 2026 Mercedes apart was its soul. It didn't shout luxury. It whispered it in the language of light, motion, and silence. By 2028, the ripple effects of the project had reached unexpected places. Architectural firms began designing modular homes based on the motorhome spatial philosophy, transforming small spaces into sanctuaries through intelligent adaptability. Even airline companies studied its ambient systems to redesign their first-class cabins. The Mercedes mood architecture, as it came to be known, became a framework for human-centric design across industries. Behind the scenes, the Mercedes R&D team continued refining the concept. They weren't just building vehicles anymore. They were designing experiences that blurred the boundary between mobility and living. The 2026 motorhome was the seed of something greater. The Loom Auto series, a future line of autonomous living pods that could connect and travel in synchronized convoys, sharing energy and navigation intelligence. The dream was to create a network of moving homes that could communicate and travel as one, a digital ecosystem of luxury on wheels. One of the most iconic moments came during the Geneva Auto Show of 2027, when Mercedes unveiled a live installation titled "The Journey Never Ends." They displayed a single 2026 motorhome under a canopy of holographic stars, with aura narrating the story of humanity's desire to explore. The crowd watched in awe as the vehicle's panels shifted shape in real time, from opaque to glass, from lounge mode to drive mode, all accompanied by soft orchestral music. The presentation ended with a single line glowing across the roof: "Luxury isn't a place. It's a feeling that moves." The applause lasted for minutes. Financially, the 2026 motorhome project became one of Mercedes-Benz's most profitable limited releases in history. But its true legacy was emotional. It reignited global fascination with the art of travel, the idea that moving slowly, intentionally, and beautifully could be the ultimate expression of wealth. It also redefined luxury in an era obsessed with speed. People began to see stillness as a privilege, not a void. Mercedes-Benz had sold a dream, but more importantly, they had given people a new rhythm to life. Even years later, when newer models appeared, the 2026 edition remained untouchable, a benchmark, a collector's myth. Those who owned it often refused to sell, saying that no price could replace the peace it offered. A few even described it as a spiritual companion, not just a vehicle. Every journey inside it was meditative. The hum of the motors, the soft pulse of the ambient light, the gentle breathing of the Aura AI, it all formed a rhythm that reminded its passengers that luxury wasn't about having more, it was about needing less. Mercedes-Benz, through this masterpiece, had achieved something timeless, a connection between human emotion and mechanical perfection. It stood as proof that technology could serve the soul without overwhelming it. And as the final chapter of the 2026 luxury motorhome closed, the world understood one thing with crystal clarity: the future of travel had already arrived, and it carried a 3-point star. Because in the end, the 2026 Mercedes-Benz luxury motorhome wasn't just built to move people, it was built to move hearts.